Okay, good morning, class. You guys had some homework for today? Is that correct? It was exercise 1.19. In 1.19, you had to do the second column and the remaining sums of the first column. Not so. So at this point, we got up until exercise 1.19. The first column, I stopped at M. Then there was O and Q, and then number 2 was left. Not so. Is there any problems with the sums that is on the board at the moment? Any problems from exercise 1.19 in the first column? You all okay with 1.19 first column? Right. 1.19 second column. Any issues there? Yes? If. 1 or 2? 1. Yes? Just hang on. 1.19. Number 1 if, no? Number 1 if. Okay. Any other problems with number 1? Any other problems with number 1? Then you're saying number 2? 2L. Any other problems with number 2? Two N and L, no? M. But is M not in the first column? Now I must say, who had the problem with the first column? No, I asked number 1 and 2. So it was on the board already. Any other problems? Okay. So we're looking at exercise 1.19, page 26, number 1F. So is there a common factor there? No. So I need to go straight into the product line. So what are the factors of 3? 1 and 3. What's the factors of 32? 1 and 32? 2 and 16? 4 and 8? Is that it? Yes? So what do I do here? Do I add or subtract our factors? Subtract. So 3 times 4 is 12. And that's going to be 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. Not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? 20. 1 times 16 is 16. 2 times 3 is 6. You subtract, you get 10. Still not what I'm looking for. That's going to give you 3 and 32. 32 minus 3 is 29. Still not. So what do I do now? We swap the factors around. We swap the factors that has the least variables. And the least the factors. Okay. So we go again. 3 times 32 is fairly large. 3 times 16 is going to be 48, also large. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 4 is 20, and that's what I want. So it's going to be a 3 and a 4, a 1 and a 8. 3 and a 4, a 1 and a 8. Is an x squared, so there goes x and x. What about our signs? Plus and minus. The bigger product must be positive. So that's going to give you 24, and that's going to give you 4. Not so. 24x. So the 24 must be positive. Not so? So the positive is going to go there and the negative. Okay. Who got the sum wrong? Who asked for the sum? Yes, where did you go wrong? Yeah, but you must tell us about your mistake. You took the wrong factors. But did you get 20 for the middle term? No. So you must always check that is in order. Did you swap the factors around? Yes. So you did this part in blue here.
Oh no, I didn't do this.
You didn't do this here. Okay. Just take note that if the last factor or the first coefficient of x squared is not 1, and the constant is not 1. If one of the two is not 1, then and you don't find factors, then you must swap the factors around. The reason that why you won't swap the factors dealing with 1 around is because if you swap the one of the least factors, in this case, which is 1 and 1, you swap that around, what you're going to get? Still 1 and 1. So it's not going to make a difference there. Okay, you guys understand? Just we get number 2L. See any common factor here? No. So, get straight into the product line. So what's the factors of 36? 1 and 36. 2 and 18. 4 and 9. 3 and 12. Yeah? 6 and 6. What's the factors of 40? 1 and 40. 2 and 20. 4 and 10. 5 and 8. Do we add or subtract the products? We must add them. Why was the last that is positive? So that is going to give you 36 and 40 is going to give you 76. I'm looking for 111. That is 72. Not going to cut it. That is going to be 103 times 30 times 4 is already 120, so it's over. Okay. 5 times is also over. Okay, so that's going to give you 80, 98. That's going to give you 40, short. 4 times 18 is 40, too small. That is going to give you 18 times 5. 18 times 5 is 40, it's 90. 90 plus 16. Okay. So it's 9 times 5. It's odd, so I need to get the odd product as well. No? That is 45. This is 32. That's not going to work. They do 9 times 36. 36 and 40. That is 160. Too big. 80. 80 and 18 is not going to be even. Odd, sorry. 9 and 4 is 36. Okay, let's go on. Just look where it's going to be odd. This combination is not going to give me odd. No? So that is even, that is even, that is even, that is even. Since that is even, always result in even. Okay? So this both is even. So that is also not going to work. So what do? Swap the factors around. Okay, so let's extend this. So you're going to get 36 and 1, 18 and 2, 9 and 4, 12 and 3. 6 and 6 remain 6 and 6. You all agree with that? Since the factor, the product line is fairly large, I'm going to take out this what I don't need, so that we can just bring it together, okay? Again, it must be odd, no? That's going to be very large. That as well. That is 360. That as well. That's 240. 30 times 8 is already 240, which is over. Remember, I must add. No? Look at the next one. These two is even combinations will never work. This here, if I look at 9, with any of those will always be even. Not so? And 4 times anything is also even. So again, that's not going to work for us. Let's check here. That is going to give you 12 times, that's already more than 400. So that is out. So that's going to give you 6. There's not going to be odd there. That is not also going to give you an odd number. 5 times 3 is 15. 12 times 8 is 12 times 8 is 100 and that's 16. 96. So that's 1 1 1. Yo. It's 12 and 5 3 and 8. Okay. So what do we get? 12 and 5 in one bracket, 3 and 8 in the other bracket. What about the variables? We've got a squared, so it's going to be a and a. There's b squared, so b and b. What about the signs? Same sign, so both is going to be. Okay. That one requires half a glass of water now. But you guys understand? It's a bit big. But yeah, sorted. Then we got number 2m. Is there a common factor here? Is there a common factor? First, is it a trinomial? Yes. So it's a4, a squared, no a. b4, b squared, no b. Okay, so that's in order. Is there a common factor? No. So we go straight into the product line. What's the factors of 4? 1 and 4. 2 and 2. What's the factors of 1? 1 and 1. Do we add or subtract our products? Subtract. Okay. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. You subtract it, you get 3. And that's what I want. So it's a 1 and a 1. 1 and a 1. Sorry, a 1 and a 1. A 4 and a 1. Is a A4. So if there's A4, then what must be here? A squared. There's a B4, so what must be here? B squared. Okay, I'm just going to write it a bit bigger. So it's a 1 and a 1, a 4 and a 1. So it's an A and an a B and a B. 1 plus, 1 minus. The bigger product must be positive. So that's going to give you 4AB. And that is going to give you AB. The bigger product must be positive. There goes positive and negative. Sorry, here is A4. So there must be A squared and B squared. So what do we notice now with regards to the second bracket? What do you see now with regards to the second bracket? Sorry? Dots, difference of 2 squares in the second bracket. You all understand that? Okay, so this is fine. Although those are perfect squares, there's no minus between it, so can't factorize that. However, this here can be written as 2a plus b, 2a minus b. Okay. Any confusion? All okay. Yes, Michael? So you're saying that you wanted to put this bracket first and this bracket second. Yes, no problem. Then of course this would now be first and this would be now second. No? It's fine. Remember that if you got 6, what's 1 times 2 times 3? 6. What's 2 times 1 times 3? 6. What's 3 times 1 times 2? 6. What's 3 times 2 times 1? 6. What's 1 times 3 times 2? 6. Times 2 times 3 times 1? It's all 6. So, since these are products of each other, the order doesn't matter. Okay? So why? It will give you the same solution anyway. Okay? Any confusions, any questions there with regards to that there? No? Then we went on to the sum and difference of cubes. Okay? Sum and difference of cubes. You had to do exercise. Sorry? 1.20. The first column of the whole exercise. Okay. Oh yes, he was absent yesterday, no? So in exercise 1.20, any problems with number 1? Yes. Is. This is from number 1, you're all listening. Number 1. Number 1? S and P. Q. Q and S. Okay. Any other problems with number 1? Please let me know now so I can cut it one time. Which page is this on? Thank you. But let me know when my answers is wrong, no? When you disagree with what I'm doing or whatever, just let me know and I'll try and explain to you why you are right or why I'm wrong, whatever. Why I'm right, whatever. No? I must know all the answers like the other teachers, no? Maths is different. So we got Q, 1Q and S. People, any other problems with number 1? Yes. Is that number 1 or number 2? Yes, you might go to. I know you want to go to the bathroom, but the way you put your hand up, I thought like you got the interesting question. Right, let's do Q quickly. 1Q. She didn't ask any of these, no? You asked. You greedy. But it's fine. Greedy is good. People, Q. What's a cube root of 64C cubed minus 8D cubed? For C and the cube root of 8D cubed? 2D. Double D, yeah? Cubed. So, there's a negative between it. So what type of factorization is going to occur here? Difference of 2 cubes. So, this gives us the cube root of 64C cubed, 4C, minus 2. But hang on, there's a common factor there. So what am I supposed to have done actually? We had to take out the common factor first. Did you take out the common factor first? No. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both methods. The common factor first should be the better option. Okay? So 4C squared is going to be 16. C is where? That's minus, so here goes. Plus 4C times 2D, 8CD, plus the last term squared is going to give you 4D squared. So you should note is that is a common factor of 2 and is a common factor. Actually a common factor of 4 in the second. So here's a common factor of 2, so it's 2 into 2C minus D. This one here, common factor of 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 out is a common factor in the second bracket is going to give you 2 c square plus 4cd. No, I'm taking 4 out. No? So it's going to be 4c square plus 2cd plus d square. So you got this answer but you didn't carry on. Is that correct? That's what I just said. You just had to say yes. Now you're repeating what I just said. Are you okay? Nice, nice. But you have to carry on. Why? The rule says you cannot leave any of the brackets with a factorization step that can be done too. Okay? So here you could have taken out the common factor. But the better thing to have done was to take out 8 as a common factor. Then I'm left with 8c cubed minus d cubed. So we go 8. What's the cube root of 8c cubed? 2c minus d, and then you're going to have 2c all squared is going to give you 4c squared. That's negative, so here goes positive. Not so? Positive what? Sorry? 2cd plus d squared. You see the same answer. Okay? People factorizing first, the common factor is going to make life a bit easier. Okay? Any confusion there? So any other problems with number 1? Sorry, what's the other problem? Sorry? S. Okay. S. Oh yes, number S. Felt like I did 2 sums already, which I did. The first same sum first. Alright, so S. People, what is the cube root of 3x plus y all cubed? 3x plus 1. Okay. What is the cube root of 3x minus y all cubed? 3x minus. Is there a minus between it? So this is going to be the difference of 2 cubes. You see that? So let's go. What we say the cube root of 3x plus y all cubed is going to give you 3x plus y. This plus, here goes plus. The cube root of 3x minus y cube is going to give you 3x minus. So what we do, we square the first term. So it's going to be 3x plus y squared. That's all. So here's my plus, so they must go minus. The first term, which is 3x plus y, times the second term, which is 3x minus y. You all okay with that? 3x plus y, 3x minus y. Must take the last term and square it. That is the last term. So it's going to be 3x minus y squared. So what do we do now? It's a matter of simplifying. So what's 3x plus 3x? 6x. What is y minus y? Cancel. So did I need a 6x in a bracket? No, you can drop the bracket at this point already. Why? Because we never write one term inside the bracket. Let's carry on. Second bracket. The first is going to be the binomial square. If you don't understand the binomial square, what do we do? Write it out twice and multiply the story out. So it's going to be the first term squared, which is 9x squared. That times 2 is going to be positive 6xy plus the last term squared, which is y squared. So here's a negative in front of it, and I keep it there and write a bracket. Why? Because in the next step my negative must be multiplied out. So here it's a conjugate pair, so I multiply the first and the last. So 3x times 3x 9x squared. What's y times negative y? Negative y squared. You guys understand? Any confusion? No. Plus the binomial squared. 3x whole squared is going to give you 9x squared. That times 2. It's going to give you negative 6xy. Last term squared, y squared. So what do I do now? Get rid of the brackets here. I can drop the 6x this bracket. So that is simply, pull that down here. If you watch the videos, you just look for, I know sometimes you just need to fast forward, don't want to watch the whole thing. You just look on the screen where this is, okay? Trying to keep that on the screen always. So you just go to that question in your book and that's your reference, okay? So we're going to get 9x squared plus 6xy plus y squared. Multiply that in is negative 9x squared. Negative times negative y squared, positive y squared, plus 9x squared minus 6xy plus y squared. So what do I do now? Try now, add like terms again. Not so. So 9x squared minus 9x squared cancel. Leaves you with 9x squared. What is 6xy minus 6xy? What's going to happen there? Cancel. Again, we're grouping these like terms. What's y squared plus y squared plus y squared? 3y squared. You think we're going to stop there? Why not? There's a common factor. There's a common factor of what in the second bracket? 3. Now that 3 that comes out times the 6x is going to give you 18x. So I got 3x squared plus. Who got that one right? Nobody. Who came close? Who got the first line out? Okay, you just have to carry on from. Yes. Something like 6 marks. 6 marks. I can show you where the marks are. There's one here, one for that bracket, another one. 2. For simplifying this bracket, I would have given you another mark. Okay? That's 3. Multiply that out, 4. Multiply that one out, 5. 6. Some would give 2 marks only in this line. Okay? So they would take this mark away. Okay? And then to get the second bracket, so there is the 6 marks. And then to taking out 3 as a common factor. So 7 marks. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, 7 marks. That's only if you want it, and many of us don't want it. No? You say, sir, that generosity of yours, that extra 7, keep it, I don't want it. No? That's what you guys do. Even I'm occupied if I cry and say, yes, I give the children 7 marks and I don't want it. No? Because you're going to get full marks for maths and the people in the other class are going to think there's something wrong with you. No? You don't want full marks for maths. Am I right? Yes. Okay. People, let's carry on with our lives. Any other issues with number 1? No. Did you have to do number 2 as well? Yes. Any problems with number 2? Is something wrong with you? Okay. Number 2I. Any other issues with number 2? There's only number 2I. I and G. Okay. You don't want to waste my time and stuff, okay? So if you got the answer right, why you want to see how I do it? Let's go 2I. Any other problems with number 2? Okay, so in number 2G, so what I would have done is I take out 2 as a common factor throughout. That's the one thing I could have done. Or I just group it 2 by 2. What is common here? 2x. I'm left with x plus p. Negative is a common factor. Negative 2m. I'm left with x plus p. Is that what you got? Definitely. Okay, you rearrange. Okay, that is fine. So what is now common? X plus p. What are we left with? 2x minus 2a. What do you notice about the second bracket? It's a common factor of 2. So it's going to be x plus p. 2 out as a common factor is going to be x minus. Yes? Okay, what did you do? Tell me. Okay, then you left with x squared plus px minus mx minus mp, okay? So you're taking x plus p, yes? Yes? Then you got then 2 in a common factor of x plus p in the bracket and x minus it. Is that right? I'm saying this right. You just want to talk to me, I understand. Number 9. What do you notice here? Trinomial. What is common there? What is common? Negative. What are we left with? X squared minus 2xy. X squared minus 2xy plus y squared. What do you notice about the bracket now? It's a perfect square trinomial. The square root of x squared is x, the square root of y squared is y, negative between it. We need to test for the middle term. So it's x times negative y. It's negative xy times 2 is negative 2xy. So that's in order. So what do you notice now? What the factorization here? Dots. There's going to be a plus x minus y, a minus x minus y. Why a bracket there? Because of the negative. So it's a plus x minus y, a minus x plus. Okay. Who asked for I? Number 2i. Where did you go wrong? You just went what? You just went wrong. Wait. First step. What did you do? Difference of 2 squares here. No man. Open your eyes. Okay. You're overlooking what you're seeing. No? No problem. Listen. Was there any issues with number 3? Yes, number 3. We will answer tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, we're not going to do anything new today. Okay. So just remind me, tomorrow we're going to look at that thing. So today we're going to look at simplifying algebraic fractions using factors. Factors, in other words, factorization. And this is on page 29. Simplifying algebraic fractions using factors, and this on page 29. So here we are reminded, study the definitions of operations on fractions. People, we know from grade 9 how to multiply fractions. We did a lot of this in grade 9, and you were tested in the first term, June exam, and the last term. Okay, so now we're going to do a more deeper study of this, applying the factorization rules we have learned. That's important, no? The new factor, all the rules of grade 8 and 9 is the same in grade 10 for algebraic fraction. The only difference is the new factorization rules that we're implementing here. Does it make sense? Hello? Yes. So the definitions, A over B multiplied by C over D, is there anything that can cancel there? No. So the numerator times the numerator and denominator times denominator. So it's AC over BD. Why do you think next to the sum here they say that B can't be 0 and D can't be 0? Why do you think they say this here? Because it can't be 0. But yes, why? So the sum will be? If the denominator is going to be 0 here, what do you notice? It will be cancelled out. It cancels. No, it doesn't cancel. 0. No. It's undefined. Yes. Is that what you're trying to say? 0 and undefined is never the same, my friend. Never ever. Okay, put it on the calculator. 5 divided by 0. You'll see you'll get a math error. Yeah. Let's see, do it for herself. Nice pink calculator. Nice, yes. Calculator's been opened for the first time for the week, yes. 5 divided by 0. Undefined, math error. So that means to say that anything divided by 0 is undefined. That's why whenever you see a variable in the denominator, and they tell you the story. Okay, here in the next question, they must say that B, C, and D can't be 0. Okay. People, let's look at the second one. A over B divided by C over D. This must be changed to multiplication, and we tumble and times. Not so. So that's simply going to be A over B multiplied by D over C, which is basically AD over BC. They didn't write that in. We will. We are nice people. So AD over. So write that in your textbook if it's not. Okay. The next one, we got A over B plus C over B. What do you notice? Denominators are the same. So we can add the numerator. If the denominators are not the same, what must we do? We must find a LCM. Okay. And again, the denominator there is not equal to 0, people. Alright. So let's look at an example on page 29, example 1, page 29. So the question says simplify. It says simplify. So write the sum down. Okay, so one of two ways I can do this. I can say 3a squared over 6a plus 6a over 6a as we did in grade 9. Or we can take out what is a common factor on top? 3a as a common factor. If I take 3a out, what am I left with? A plus 2 over 6a. So what do we notice now? What do we notice now? We can cancel, yes. Not so. So A cancels A. 3 going to 3, 1, 3 going to 6. Twice. So the answer is going to be A plus 2 over. Again, why is A not equal to 0? Because the sum will then come to be that over 0, which is undefined. Does it make sense? Any number over 0, including 0 over 0, is undefined. Are you all okay with that? So what we do first is we look for a common factor so that we can factorize. Good morning, boss. How's it? Good, good. Don't you guys greet? Morning.
You need speakers for your classes?
Sorry?
You need speakers for your classes?
Yeah, my speakers, I got speakers, however, the adapter is not on me. So if you, this is brand new stuff here.
Which adapter? Oh, to
I
power
think,
it up?
yeah, I think that is the power cable.
Nice speakers.
Yeah. But what I actually need now is a microphone. That's what I need.
A microphone.
Because you see, I'm going to show you something. You see, right, sorry about that. So let's just so now we're looking at example 2 on the same page. Example 2, page 29. Right, take this down quickly and you try and do it. You guys finish? Sorry? Finish. So what's the first thing we're going to do here? There's a common factor. There's a common factor of what? X minus 2x. Okay, so if you take out x minus 2 as a common factor, I'm then left with what? X plus 1, which is this one here, plus 3 over. Now what? What can happen now? Cancel out, numerator, denominator, one term on top, one at the bottom. Alright? What about the second bracket? What do you notice there? Your like terms. Not so? So I'm going to add that, so it's going to be 1 plus 3s. Any confusion, people? No. Again, they that say that x cannot be equal to 2, because if you look at the denominator here, if that is this minus 2, that can never be equal to 0. Not so? Because if that is going to be 0, the sum will be undefined. And that is how they get the fact that x cannot be equal to. Does it make sense? If you like an equation, that's how we solve that value there. Alright. That basically brings us to the end of our lesson. For homework, I want you guys to do exercise 1.20 on page 30, the first column. Oh yes, 1.21. First column, page. What page is this one? What? Page 30. I was going to put it here. 1.21, page 30. Odd numbers, no? Number 1 and 2, ne? Simplify algebraic fractions and assume all denominators are non-zero. They will always say that. Or they will put next to the sum the restriction. That's what we call the restriction, the value for which the denominator can never be equal to. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Guys may pack up. The bell's gonna ring soon.